All right, let's get down to business. We're going to talk about the mechanics of pitching as it's divided up into 5 basic phases. But before we do that, we need to talk about the proper grip and positioning on the mound. The proper grip to use for a fastball is to take the horseshoe-shaped seam and go 3 fingers across. You'll place the pads of your fingers on the seam, with your thumb and your pinky being used as railroad tracks along the side of the ball. Notice that the ball is going to be in the pads of your hand, not in the palm. When positioning ourselves on the mound, the first thing we want to do is draw a straight line that runs from the middle of the rubber to the center of home plate. This will be referred to as our direct line of force. When you position yourself on the mound, you will place your throwing foot on the direct line of force. Notice the heel is on the rubber with the ball of the foot over the edge. The glove leg will be placed shoulder width apart with the toes in contact with the back edge of the rubber. As you present the ball, your weight will shift to the glove leg. All right, let's get it started. The initial phase prepares you to drive off the mound. The key points are making sure you're on the balls of both feet, that you have a bend in both knees, and a slight lean in your back. Let's take a look. Notice how the weight shifts forward onto the balls of both feet. Both knees will be bent, and there will be a slight lean with the upper body. Your body weight will shift towards your target. This phase prepares you to drive off the rubber. All right, now we're ready to move on to the second phase, rotating sideways to your target. The key points are, when you land, you want to make sure you land so that you're toe-to-toe on that direct line of force. You want to rotate your hips so that you're sideways to your target. You want to make sure that your weight is centered, going directly down the middle of your body. You want to make sure that your back is upright and straight. As far as your glove, you want to make sure it points out directly towards your target with your arms swinging by your head, and it'll extend directly behind you. This is going to give you a shape similar to an X. Let's check it out. From the initial phase, we will pivot on the ball of the throwing foot as we drive off the rubber. From the drive off the rubber, the pivot foot of the throwing leg will push and drag along the ground. As the glove leg swings out towards home, the ball of the front foot will land on the direct line of force. Knees will be slightly bent, and the glove foot will land pointed at an approximate angle of 45 degrees. As the glove leg swings out and the ball of the throwing foot pivots, the hips and shoulders will open and rotate sideways to their target. From the initial phase, the back straightens to an upright position, with body weight centered and balanced. With the glove leg, the arms raise. The glove arm extends towards the target, while the throwing arm continues to swing and extend behind the head. This forms a shape similar to an X. Moving right along, we're ready for phase 3, leg drive. The key points are, you want to drag your throwing leg in a slashing motion. You want to create a figure 4 with your legs, and you want to make sure you have a nice straight back. Let's see it in action. From the X, the throwing foot will continue to drag in a slashing motion. The side of the foot will drag, creating a diagonal line. As the drag continues, the throwing leg will lift slightly to create a figure 4 towards the target. The side of the throwing foot will face your target. The throwing leg does not make contact with the glove leg. Notice the back remains upright. Now we're ready for the most critical part of the pitching motion, phase 4, resistance. The key points are, your weight will be on the inside portion of the ball of the front foot. You'll have a straight front knee. You'll have a body line that'll go from the front foot to your shoulder. Your arm will swing close to your side. Your palm will be facing towards your target with it directly behind the ball. You'll also begin to snap your hips. Roll it. From the X position, the throwing arm will continue to swing down close by the side, lightly brushing the hip. The arm is long and straight. As the arm swings down to the release point, the palm must be behind the ball facing the target. This prepares you to achieve the needed 12 to 6 o'clock rotation needed on a fastball. From the figure 4, you will resist your weight from falling forward. This is done by placing your weight against the inside portion of the glove leg when you land. The glove leg must be straight, but the knee is not locked. As the glove leg resists, a body line will be created that runs from the ball of the glove foot to the shoulder. This line runs in a diagonal. Against a straight front leg, the hips will snap as the ball is being released. Once the ball is released, the hip continues to snap, squaring up towards the target. The final phase, the follow-through. The important points are wrist snap, leg finish, hand following through to the shoulder, elbow pointing directly towards your target. Watch this. The arm will swing down from the X position with the palm behind the ball facing the target. At the hip or point of release, the wrist will snap in a flipping motion, pulling the fingers into the palm. As you resist, the hips will snap, squaring up towards the target. Notice the hip follows the hand at release to the follow-through. The throwing leg will swing around after making the figure 4, finishing behind the glove leg. Your weight will be balanced with feet finishing shoulder width apart. After the wrist snaps, the hand will follow through towards the throwing shoulder, with the elbow pointing towards the target on follow-through. That's it for all the phases, but important thing to remember is that the arm circle remains straight, long, and fluid throughout the motion. Let's see how it works. From the initial phase, the throwing arm will swing out towards home with the glove leg. Both arms will extend towards the target with the throwing arm brushing by the ear. The arm will swing down to the bottom of the circle as the glove arm comes down beside the body. The arm will stay close to the body as the arm brushes by the hip. The wrist will snap and the hand will follow through to the shoulder and the elbow will point to the target. Here are some key points to remember. The arm makes a complete circle along the side of the body. The arm is relaxed and straight, but the elbow is not locked. It lightly brushes the side of the hip at release point, keeping the elbow close to the side, palm behind the ball. And make sure to follow through once the ball is released. All right, let's now recap the 5 phases. Phase 1, the initial phase. Notice that the weight is on the balls of the feet. Both knees are bent. and there is a slight lean of the upper body. This phase prepares you to drive off the rubber. Phase 2, the rotational phase. Notice that both toes are on the direct line of force, with the gloved foot pointed approximately at a 45-degree angle. Here, the hips and shoulders are open, going sideways to the target. The back is upright and straight. The body weight is centered and balanced. Notice the glove arm is extended towards the target, with the pitching arm extended behind the head. This forms a shape similar to an X. Phase 3, the leg drive phase. Notice how the throwing leg drags in a slashing motion. As the drag continues, the throwing leg will lift slightly to create a figure 4 towards the target. The throwing leg does not make contact with the gloved leg. Here, the back remains upright and straight. Phase 4, the resistance phase. The glove leg will land with the weight against the inside portion of the glove leg for resistance. The glove leg must be straight, but the knee is not locked. As the glove leg resists, a body line will be created that runs from the ball of the glove foot to the shoulder. From the X position, the throwing arm will continue to swing down close by the side, lightly brushing the hip. The arm is long and straight. As the arm swings down to the release point, the palm must be behind the ball facing the target. The hips snap as the ball is being released. Once released, the hips continue to rotate, squaring up to the target. Phase 5, the follow-through phase. At the hip or point of release, the wrist will snap in a flipping motion, pulling the fingers into the palm. After resisting, the feet will finish with the throwing leg behind the glove leg. Feet will be shoulder width apart. Notice that after wrist snap, the hand will follow through towards the throwing shoulder with the elbow pointing towards the target on follow-through. Only one person can motivate you, and that is you. To reach your goals, it takes dedication, sacrifice, and hard work. Surround yourself with those who support and encourage you to strive for your dreams. Never be satisfied. For those that doubted, they now believe. For those that told me I couldn't, I did. Strive to achieve your dreams. You can accomplish whatever you are willing to work hard for. Believe it, and it can happen. Dreams do come true. Never be satisfied.